Garland, one of the questions, subjects that I have never heard discussed by anyone or any documentary on TV or in the book is why weren't film crews from any of the major three network affiliates, ABC, CBS, or NBC, taking pictures, film, of the President's motorcade on Dealey Plaza when those obviously were the best places to catch the film. Even Zapruder knew that with his 8mm.
Yeah, that's a great question, Michael, and that's one that's still one of the many mysteries of the Kennedy assassination. I do know that the parade route was changed within a couple of days of the time that that the motorcade took its route, and the change actually did force the motorcade through right by the Texas School Book Depository. However, as you point out, the news media could have still been in Dealey Plaza to take the pictures, which would have been better than the ones that they got along the street. That has always fascinated me. I do know, though, if it had not been for Abraham Zapruder accidentally being in that spot right next to the grassy knoll, we would have never known hardly any of the information that we have found out as of today.
Well, let's stay on the topic, if we can, for a minute, of the film crews from the affiliate network stations. Having lived in Texas in 1969 through 71, San Antonio, the film crews from the TV stations were on an emergency notice. They would take pictures of gruesome automobile crashes with classical music in the background as they would show them on the evening news. So even with 2 days' notice, that was plenty of notice for the film crews from these stations, and they had invested a lot of money in these film crews, and they're going to be taking, you would think that they would be wanting to get the very best shots of the President's motorcade, and the best way to do that would be to locate cameras in Dealey Plaza on the grassy knoll, and in the plaza itself and alongside the road, so you'd have the longest shots. And because people were wanting to watch that on the news, and the people who would be making those decisions would be the station manager and the news director. And most certainly they're after ratings, and those are the ratings that they're going to get. So it is just absolutely baffling why they didn't have the coverage. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to add to that?
No, Mike, I really don't. I can tell you that we only had the Abraham Zapruder film. We also had what we call the Mary Moreland picture, and that was a picture of the grassy knoll just as the motorcade went by. And we'll be showing that picture to you so that you can see that for yourself, so you'll see what the grassy knoll looked like. It was just next to the Texas School Book Depository to the left-hand side, and we'll show you the picture of that. So as the motorcade then approaches the Texas School Book Depository and turns left, it then goes by this grassy knoll area, past where Abraham Zapruder was, past where the apparent sniper was actually stationed. And the people who were in that area called for the police officers to immediately go to that area to investigate, because they had heard shots. Two police officers, Joe Marshall Smith and Roger Craig, went immediately there and were confronted by Secret Service agents that were there and presented some type of credentials. We do not know if those were real Secret Service agents or if they were imposters.
No, we don't know, because they've never been identified, and hence the big mystery of the grassy knoll, where people claim that they heard gunshots behind them as they were watching the motorcade, and they hit the ground. And they saw movement in the in that grassy knoll area and on the bridge, and a crowd of people, several people, ran to that. And my goodness, why would you want to run to that if you thought there were gunmen up there shooting? But people are innately curious, and police officers did run to that as firemen run into a burning building. And when they got there, they found people not only who claimed to be Secret Service, but they also found 3 tramps.
That's exactly right, Michael, and they arrested those 3 tramps in the railroad tracks behind the fence where the grassy knoll was, and escorted them to the police station. However, they were never booked, and no one knows their names or anything about them. Mystery, and you'll see those 3 tramps on the screen right now.
And we know when someone's taken into police custody and taken to the police station, they take their names, they ask for identification, and they log them in. It's duly noted. So for the Dallas police station, who have, obviously experience with, thousands of arrests, and especially at this critical event, that they would not keep a record of who they brought into the police station for questioning, and then just release them, strange credulity.
Certainly is, and also when they eventually capture Lee Harvey Oswald, they interviewed him for 12 hours, and we do not have any records or transcripts of that interview as well.
Well, did they allow him an attorney during that period of time?
Not that I know of.
My. It brings forth more questions, and we'll be answering and addressing some of those questions.
That's right, Michael, and we will be able to tell you at home who we believe some of these tramps really are in our next segment.
We look forward to that.